Okay, so let me quickly share my screen and show you what my code looks like. So I think this is the table I created. Okay, so that's it. So now for the code, I just added the border, added the cell padding of 30. As I believe you know what cell padding is, like to give the space around this stuff. And then most of you, I think everybody got the very first one. So that's just it. And what I'll suggest you do is because this is how I do mine. Once I look at the table like this, I already know that it has 1, 2, 3 columns, 1, 2, 3 columns, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So what I'm going to do is, if I come to my code, I'll first of all create something like this. It has 5 rows, 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows. There's a 4th row, and then a 5th row. I'll create it like this too, right? And which is the one on top. That's how I did it first. And then it had 3 columns inside, 1, 2, 3. So I'll create it like that at first. You understand? I'll create it like this. This is what it should look like at first. So I'm copying, let me paste it here again. This is how I created at first, right? And then once this is done, I already have a table with 5 rows and 3 columns, right? These are each of the columns inside of the rows. And after which I'll Control Z now to undo what I pasted. Yeah. And after which I will now say something like, okay, if I want to achieve something like this, that means it spans across 1 column, 2 columns, right? So I will have a code span of 2, right? 1, 2, and then I'll have one remaining column, one remaining cell. So code span 2, right? It spans across 2 columns, and then it has 1 extra column left. So that's how we got the code span being equal to 2. And that's it for the first table. And all I just did, the extra thing I did was adding a center align to the name so that the name will be in the center. So that's it for that one. Then for the other table, this is what the other table looks like. Everyone got this one as well. So this table has 1, 2, 3 columns, right? 1 column, 2 columns, and then there's a 3rd column here, right? And then this guy spans, it has 5 rows as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. And then this other one here, the different thing I did here was that this guy spans across 3 rows, right? It's supposed to be 1 full row here, the 2nd row here, and then the 3rd row here. But you can see April spans across 3 rows. So that's just the only special thing that happened here. So it's just like the opposite of this guy. This one spans across 1, 2 columns, covers 2 columns. Then this other one covers 3 rows. So that one was quite simple too. Most of you got it. So I use the row span equal to 3 and then add my center line as well. Now for the third one. Now for the third one. So the only different thing for the third one is that the first one spans across 3 columns, right? 1, 2, 3 columns. This is supposed to be 1, 2, 3 columns. So 2022 spans across 3 columns. So that's what happened here in the first one. So I didn't put any extra TD, right? This one is quite clear. So if it was 2 columns that is spanned across, that means it will be co-span 2 and then 1 extra TD to make it up to 3. But since it spans across 3 columns, So there's no point putting an extra TD. Just put co-span equal to 3 and then put my 2022 inside. Center line as well. And then to explain this other one, normally I'm supposed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my rows are complete. But now you can see that, let me open this guy. I should have a clean second row, right? With the complete TDs. Then this other guy has, this one is a bit technical now. It spans across, this row spans across, two rows, and then spans across, spans across 2 rows and then 2 columns as well. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 rows, 2 rows and 2 columns. So that's how I got this part. First of all, you can see it spans across 2 rows. The first TD, maybe have the Fiesta. As the 2 rows, it spans across. As these 2 rows. And then with an extra TD, this is the extra TD, right? For this. Same thing happens here as well. Spans across 2 columns. You can see this is the second one, spans across 2 columns. But you notice that this Fiesta doesn't just span across 2 rows, right? It also spans across 2 columns. That's the very first, this particular row. So it spans across 2 rows and then it spans across 2 columns as well. So that's why we had to add the extra 2 rows here, 2 columns here, and then do our center line Fiesta. That's it. So no big deal. So you can just copy and paste the code and then see what it looks like. All right. Thank you. I should be all for now. Bye.